All right, everybody, so we're back with another deep dive. And this time, we are tackling something that hits close to home. Literally.
New house, old house, fixer-upper, dream home. There's always something, right?
Tell me about it. We're digging into a homeowner's nightmare today, unexpected repairs, and a letter from the developer that's got more twists and turns than a renovation project on a historic property.
It sounds like we've got quite the situation on our hands. Lay it on me.
So picture this. You've just moved into your beautifully renovated historic Baltimore home. You're over the moon until those first raindrops start falling, and you realize that roof needs more than just a little love. Oh, and did I mention the basement's got some, shall we say, moisture management issues?
Oh boy, that's a 1-2 punch you don't want to deal with.
You got that right. And as if that weren't enough, now you're staring at this letter from the developer, Mel Freeman from Eager Street Development. Let's just say it's not exactly the housewarming gift you were hoping for. We'll untack it all right after this quick break. And we're back with our deep dive. So, let's get into this letter. On the surface, it seems like Mel and Eager Street Development are trying to do right by our homeowner. They say they're committed to fairness and honoring their warranty obligations. But, like with any good contract, the devil is in the details.
You said it. That phrase, limited warranty, that's a big one. It means there are very specific terms and limitations to what's covered. And in a situation like this, with a historically renovated property, you can bet there are going to be some very particular rules and regulations involved.
And hold on, because it gets even more complicated. Mel mentions this historic tax credit agreement. What's the deal with that?
That throws a whole other wrench into the works. Essentially, when developers renovate historic properties, they can qualify for tax credits.
Yeah.
But, and this is a big but, those credits come with strings attached. The developer and often the homeowner are obligated to maintain the historical integrity of the property, which can sometimes limit what kind of repairs or renovations you can even do.
So it's not just a matter of slapping on a new roof or waterproofing the basement. You've got to make sure everything's up to code A&D, historically accurate.
You got it. Talk about a headache.
Tell me about it. And the plot thickens because Mel then suggests having Edgemont Builders, the original contractors, come back and handle the repairs. On the one hand, that sounds reasonable, right? They know the property, they did the initial work. But then comes the kicker.
Let me guess. The warranty might be expired.
Bingo. Talk about bad timing, right?
It's definitely not ideal, but here's the thing. An expired warranty doesn't automatically mean our homeowner is out of luck. It might actually give them a little leverage in this situation.
Really? How so?
Well, think about it. The developer is offering to extend the warranty, which tells me they're motivated to resolve this quickly and quietly. They probably don't want a drawn-out dispute, especially with the historic tax credit obligations hanging over their heads. So this could be an opportunity for the homeowner to push for a more favorable outcome.
So it's a bit of a power play on both sides.
Exactly. Now, Mel also suggests an independent home inspection. Sounds like a good idea on the surface. Get an impartial expert to assess the situation. But there's a catch, as always.
What's that?
Well, the choice of inspector should be a joint decision between the homeowner and the developer. Otherwise, you run the risk of ending up with an inspector who might be biased towards one side or the other. You want someone who is truly neutral and will give an honest evaluation of the problems.
That's a great point. Don't be afraid to speak up and be involved in that decision-making process. It's your home on the line here. Now, one last thing that struck me as a little off in this letter is the closing. Mel writes that they expect Station East buyers to honor their obligations. Why so direct? It feels a tad pointed, don't you think?
It definitely sticks out, doesn't it? And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if it ties directly back to that historic tax credit agreement we talked about earlier.
So you're thinking this could be the developer's way of subtly reminding the homeowner that they've got skin in the game, too. That accepting certain repairs might come with conditions.
Precisely. These historic tax credit agreements can be pretty complex, and they often come with stipulations about preserving the historical accuracy of the property. This could potentially limit the homeowner's options for repairs or even increase their costs down the line.
So what you're saying is this agreement might actually limit the developer's liability and put more responsibility and potentially costs on the homeowner.
It's a possibility. These agreements aren't exactly light reading. You really need to read the fine print and understand all the nuances.
So what's our takeaway for our listeners today? What should they do with all this information?
First and foremost, don't panic, but don't ignore it either. If you're buying a historic property, or if you're already in a situation like this, knowledge is power. Get your hands on that historic tax credit agreement, read it carefully, or better yet, have a lawyer who specializes in real estate and historic preservation look it over.
It's always better to be safe than sorry.
Absolutely. And understand your rights and responsibilities. Don't be afraid to ask questions, negotiate, and stand up for what you believe is fair. Remember, it's your home.
And that's a wrap on another deep dive. Until next time, stay informed and stay vigilant, everyone.